Gloria, how are you, my friend? How you doing, sweetie? I just got home from my son's house. Hi, Pam. How are you, hon? I'm eating a sweet potato. Yes, you do see a lemon tree, my friend. Guess what I did today before I went back over to Jason's? We watched the Oscars, and I helped with my grandson because his mommy had to go on a business trip. So I was over there with my son, and then my other son came over, and I didn't know he was coming over. Hi, Charlotte. How are you, hon? So that was really cool. So I was with two of my sons. Hi, Cynthia. How are you, honey? And I'm just throwing it out there. I think Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper have a thing for each other. I know, but I do. I'm doing good, Charlotte. Except it's always bittersweet when I leave. Oh, thanks, Cynthia. Look, you guys. Look what I did today. I was over at Jason's, and then I came home because I had to give Bella her shot and feed her. And then I went back over and we watched a couple movies. Normally we go to the movies and watch a new, one that's just come out. But because Jason had been sick, we just stayed at the house and watched a couple movies on, from, whatever it is where the new movies come out. What are you talking about, Gloria? Your husband, no time. Hubby is going back to work on Wednesday. What do you mean, no time? Yeah, I love Netflix. It wasn't Netflix that we watched. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe Showtime? I'm not sure. Anyway, today, what I did, look at this bunny. Look how big. This bunny, for half of this, okay, and I'm letting it cure for 24 hours. So you'll see the video that I do where I show you how to pour this again. Half of this bunny took 4 cups of plaster and 2 cups of water. Just half of him, okay? And then I did some more, but this is what he looks like. Look what he looks like here. Wait till you see this. Whoa. What do you think? What do you think? He could stay up all year long. Oh, he helped you with the heavy items. Gotcha. Where were you, Gloria? Whose channel? I didn't mean to take you away. I didn't even go to see who was on live, to be honest with you. Anyway, I literally just got home, fed Bella, gave her her insulin shot, let them go potty, and came upstairs and dialed into you guys. So, got that video done. So we're going to start working with these. And then I did a haul, but I left these up. But you're going to see the haul I did from Walmart. I can't tell you how impressed I am with Walmart. Except they don't put their prices on anything. I know these were $7.88 though. But I got one from Michael's. Not nearly as nice. And I paid $10 like 3 weeks ago. Not realizing, obviously, that, Walmart was going to have lemon trees. But I just wanted to do a haul on what I got. Now, what I got from Walmart, I won't be putting up before my Easter. I'm decorating my house now for Easter because I have that Easter slash spring home tour coming up. But after Easter, this will be up until 4th of July, all my lemon decor. Hi, Mary. Doggone it, why didn't you get a notification? Mary, did you hit the bell on when you subscribed to me? Because I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. Oh, I'm going to show you all that, Pam. In my DIY, I'm going to show you everything. You know, Mary, I don't know what's going on here. Honestly, I don't. Why certain people get notified and certain people don't. I don't get it. Oh, okay. I just don't want you to take away, I don't want to take you away from another channel. Isn't that weird? So sometimes you get notified and sometimes you don't. I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, so I've been getting my stuff ready for the live stream. Let me show you this of what I'm going to be in. And they're going to have giveaways. I didn't know that for people that watch. And some of the giveaways are pretty good giveaways, actually. I had no clue. I mean, Tiffany Solorio, that's putting this together, she has contacted a lot of vendors. And she did this all herself. So I don't know exactly how it's going to work. But I will be on March 30th at 2 p.m. if anyone's interested. And remember, I was cutting out those butterflies? That just gave you a little hint. But, so I'm going to be doing that amongst everything else. You were unsubscribed to my channel, Gloria? Oh, for corn's sake. Well, you know what? You know what I've heard, you guys? You might want to check and just hit the subscribe button and share the channel. A lot of times people are saying that they are unsubscribed and they didn't do it. So YouTube, apparently, from what I've heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but if you don't go on a channel very much that you're subscribed to, they will automatically unsubscribe you. And again, I don't know if this is true, but it's what I've heard. So that may be why you're not notified. I don't know. I really don't. So you like those bunnies, huh, Cynthia? So did any of you watch the Oscars last night? I'm just going to eat this real quick. And if you did, what did you think? I'm glad Lady Gaga got it for the music. Actually, I like her, but and my son, I haven't seen it yet, but my one son said The Green Door is really good. Almost done. Sorry, guys. But I think you're going to like what I got in my haul from Walmart. And I think that's pretty much what I'm going to get. I don't really want to buy a whole lot of other stuff. I'll be making a few things. And like I said, if Dollar Tree doesn't have the lemon plates. I may make some. This was $7.88, and the one at Michael's had, it's downstairs. I'll show you. I think I did show you in a haul, actually. And if I didn't, I will. But anyway, it only had like 3 lemons. Didn't have even as nice of a pot. And this is a terracotta pot, and it's just painted the that dark, well, it's almost like that burnt umber type that I do for the bunnies. And then it has the grapevine stem. And then look at all those lemons, you guys, with the magnolia leaves. That's nuts. But yeah, I mean, that's a good deal, I think. I haven't messed with it at all. Oh, look, I didn't even realize that there's a little lemon down here. I didn't even realize that. But I mean, that's worth it to me. Thanks, Pam. Yeah. Give it the old thumbs up. So what's everyone been doing today? Like I say, I was at my son's house and with my grandson, and he's so cute, and just hanging out. And then yesterday, like I said, we were watching the Oscars, and we just got Italian subs and had vegetables and dip and chips and dip and all that. But it was fun. It's always fun hanging out. And then my granddaughter that just had the 16th birthday, you know, that I made the money tree for, she was over, and my son, her dad, and mom. So that was cool. And I don't know, but they look good with it. The magnolia leaves look good with it, actually. You did laundry and editing. I put up a video today. I don't know if you guys saw it. Oh, yeah. Okay, Cynthia. I put up that faux Easter cookie tree. And that tree, honestly, I have had that tree forever. Actually, I've had it so long, I haven't even used it in my decor for years. And the tree that I did use for last year, and when I get off here, excuse me, I have to go back on, because I put the cookie DIY from last year at the end screen of that video, and it didn't go on. Unless you guys saw it, but I don't think it did, and I don't know why, because I did put it on there so people could look at and to see how I did those cookies. I think that's going to be great, Cynthia, with your little daycare kids. I think that's so cute. Oh, are they lemon leaves, Pam? That tells you how much I know about planting. And anyway, so I put that on there, but I don't think it went on. So I got to figure that out tonight so I can get on there so people can see how I did that. Well, if you go down last year, and it would be quite a few videos back, but it does say how to make faux Easter cookies. Hi, Kimberly. So you did look it up and you found the cookies, Kimberly? But I will go back. After I get off here, I will go back and put it back on my end screen. And for those that don't know what the end screen, what I mean the majority of you I'm sure do, but for those that don't, when you get done with the video, as it's saying goodbye or whatever, it'll show different videos that you've done in the past, and then you can click onto it and see the video that we put up. So what did it say, Kimberly? Did you just put in Easter cookies, faux Easter cookies, to find it? Oh, good. Okay. Good. Because I did a lot of videos last year for Easter, different Easter stuff, which I'll be doing again. Like I said, today I filmed, when I came home, I filmed pouring the bunnies. And then I have my haul that I'm going to put up. And then I have a couple others that I'm going to be, DIYs that I'm going to be doing. 1 or 2 tomorrow. I've got to get at least 4 up in the next 2 days. What I mean by up, filmed, and then I will put them out every few days. Oh, okay. Cool. So that's cool. So some of you are probably having to go to work tomorrow, huh? I've gotten to 6,500. I'm hoping by the end of, I don't know. Maybe the end of March. I might be 7,000. That would be cool. Cool, dude. That would be cool. I'm starting to get a little bit weepy. A little bit. Because Tanya's anniversary is coming up, the first year. And my granddaughters have been posting stuff, and I've been seeing that. And it just brings it all back into my mind. Not that, I mean, I can't help but think about it. But it just makes you, well, actually, what I think is, what I get worried about is I get worried about my other kids. And I was reading something on grieving when you lose a child. And it's very normal, apparently, to be afraid of losing another child. And I was very young when I had my kids. So my kids, I mean, there isn't a huge gap except for my last daughter, but I mean, the other ones, I was very young. And I keep thinking, I just keep praying, God, please don't take another one. I mean, I'd go over the deep end. I would go over the flippin' deep end. And I am not kidding. I am not kidding. Oh, you will, Pam. You'll get to it, though. You can? Sure you will. Of course you will. Anyone that's not subscribed to Pam's, go subscribe to Creative Homescaping. She's so sweet. Hi, Dana. Yeah, my granddaughters, they were posting stuff and they were just, especially my one granddaughter, Brianna. I mean, she's just so mad, just so mad, you know. And I mean, rightfully so. Oh, I was just telling them how I'm feeling a little bit, I don't think melancholy would be the right way to describe what I'm feeling. Um, just because we're coming on to the anniversary of Tanya's death, and yeah, I can't. I wished I could describe what I'm feeling, but it's like anyone could say anything to me, and no matter what they said to me, I mean, and I'm speaking more derogatory towards me, it would mean nothing to me. I mean, it wouldn't faze me in the least. It's like I have such a, uh, oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just numb. You know what I mean? I mean, so nothing really affects me as far as negativity because, I mean, I've had the ultimate of, you know, whatever you want to call it. So nothing much more could affect me than that. But it's funny because certain times it'll hit you. Because remember the other night, I don't know how many of you were on here, but when I was talking about Tanya, and I said at the time, and I remember saying it, I can talk about it tonight, but maybe tomorrow I wouldn't be able to. Well, that's kind of like tonight. It's now, I mean, not that I can't talk about it tonight, but just the feeling of kind of anger and disbelief still, if you will, and why. I don't know. I don't know. So your brother was never found, Dana? I have a friend, and I think it was, trying to remember back. Let's see. Tanya was March. Well, I think it was in the summer. Her son went missing and he's never been found. And I believe it was, I want to say it was September, but I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was September. And they've never found him. And we knew each other when we were teenagers, you know, and, you know, we talked and all, and, you know, I mean, I look at hers and I think, my God, hers is even worse than mine, if you will, because at least I had closure. She doesn't have closure. So, as weird as it sounds, I mean, I was thankful to God that I didn't have to go through that. You know what I mean? And then I had another friend I told you about where her son was hit by a car in, he died New Year's Day. And, you know, it's just nuts. The whole thing's just nuts, if you ask me. And that's it. You know, I mean, just the order of things, I'm not supposed to outlive my kids. It's like, what? This is just, I mean, it's like tilt, you know, your mind just can't wrap around it. You lost your dad that day in 2001. My sister lost her son 5 days from his 16th birthday. They had already bought him a truck. Oh, God. See, and, you know, I mean, I'm clearly not the only one that has lost a child. And when you read these things, you know, well, it just, you really feel for these people because you really, I mean, you understand what they're going through to a point, but you really don't understand what they're going through completely. So when people will say, I know what you're feeling. No, you really don't know, because everyone's story is different. You may know what it is, that gut-wrenching, empty feeling, but you don't know the story behind the loss. So everyone has a different, am I making sense at all? I mean, so that's why when I hear someone, a child especially, has passed, I try not to ever say, oh, I know what you're going through. I always try to say is, I don't have the right words, but I'll be praying for you. And, express that I lost a child myself. Because, okay, perfect example. My friend that they never found her son. I don't know what she's feeling. I didn't go through that. They're very, very sure he's not alive anymore. But I don't know what it's like of the not knowing, of the wondering every day. You know what I mean? So hers is entirely different than mine. So everybody, their story is different. Mary, a 16-year-old child, they bought him a car. They were ready to surprise him on his birthday. My daughter was grown and had 3 children. And so I look at them and I look at her one grandchild that misses her deeply. So mine is a whole different situation. Yeah, oh, that's just, okay, and there you go, Dana. Her parents, they lost 2 sons. Excuse me, guys. Dave is missing still, and Dennis committed suicide. And you know what? This is a perfect night to tell you. Remember I was going to tell you why I say what I say? At the end? Well, I'm going to tell you tonight. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Okay. Okay. You know that little ditty that I do at the end before I go off every time I make a video or a live? The world's a better place. Well, there's a reason for that. I want people to know that they're important and that their lives mean something. And that's not a cliche, yeah, it can be said very tritely, but because of what I've experienced in my life, I was always one, when I was at the grocery store, I got to go back a little bit. Hope I'm not bothering. If you guys don't want to hear this, you can, do whatever you got to do. But for the ones that want to hear why I say what I say at the end, I got to go back a little bit. When I used to work at the store, people would come in and everybody has a story. Everybody has a past. Everybody has something they're going through. And whenever I would see people, and there would be a lot of people that would come through my line on a regular basis. You know how you have checkers at the grocery store? and you always want to go in their line. Or there's others that you don't want to go in their line. You think, oh, I don't want to go in their line. Well, I had a lot of people that used to like come through my line because I would talk to them, you know. And I would always, like, if I saw something, and or say they were wearing something, or their hair was done a certain way, if I thought in my mind that they looked good or pretty, or whatever they had on was pretty, I would always tell them. And, you know, I mean, especially the older people, you know, now I'm old, but I mean, you know, the senior citizens. And I mean, it would just make their day. And I didn't say it. I wasn't blowing smoke. I didn't just say it to say it. In other words, I wouldn't tell everybody that came through my line. But if I thought something, I would say it, because I thought, why keep it to yourself? I mean, if you think something, or you appreciate someone, or, and I don't care if you know them or not. I mean, if they're a total stranger. I mean, and I have had people, I mean, now I'm talking, you know, usually wherever I work, but I would, you know, I will tell them, you know, you have a beautiful hand, or your hair's pretty, or, you know, you have beautiful eyes, whatever the case is. I always want them, if I'm thinking something, I want them to know it. Now, there are times that I, you know, have to hold my tongue, because there's things that I don't like about certain people, and I'm not going to tell them anything, you know, like that. But I just really think it's important to do that. And the reason I think that is because you don't know what a person's going through. You don't know what their life entails. Even YouTubers, you know, and I've said this before, and I'm sure some of you have heard me say it. People that watch YouTubers, they see them maybe for an hour, or if you're on a live, a couple hours, whatever the case is. Even with that being said, you really don't know what's going on the other 22 or 23 hours of their life. You don't know. And when Tanya first passed away, and I very quickly went back on and started doing videos. I mean, she passed away St. Patrick's Day, and now I did have some videos that were already done, and I just went ahead and uploaded them, and I put something on in the description box that I had these, you know, done, and I wanted to share them with them. But I did go on, because it was for me, it was therapeutic, and it was something that took my mind off of it. Well, I would have people come on and say, I can't believe that you're doing this. You know, your daughter passed away and you're this strong to do this. Well, yeah, I might have looked like I was strong, you know, but they didn't see the anguish, those other, like I said, those other 22, 23 hours. They didn't see that. But they just see what they see, and they just think that that's just the way it is. And that's okay. You know, that's okay. My point being, I try to always be positive in what I'm doing, and I always try to make people feel like they are worth something, and that their lives matter. And so now we go into, now my segue into why I say what I say at the end. I had a friend, and I opened up, I'm always opening up a store. I don't know what it is, but the Target by me, well, there wasn't a Target by me. It was just a dirt area. And they opened up a Target, and there was a tent where they were taking applications. So I was hired, and so there was no store. I mean, literally, once they got the bones of it done, we went in and put in, just like I did with Hobby Lobby, we put in all the shelving, all the signs, the registers. Well, we didn't, you know, do the electrical part of registers, but I mean, everything in that store was done by the people that were first hired in there. Well, there was a girl, and her name was Becky. And I was a checker, and she worked in the part where there was popcorn. You know, remember in Target years ago, before there was a Starbucks in Target, there wasn't a Starbucks at the time, but there was a, like for hot dogs and popcorn and all that kind of stuff. Well, she would always, and I would always talk to her and, compliment her, whatever. And we didn't see each other that much, but I mean, but at work we would, hey, how you doing, Becky? How you doing, Davida? That kind of stuff. Well, anyway, a couple years in, she gave me this frame. Well, what's in it? The whole thing. And this is probably, gosh, well, 95, 96. So that long ago. And she just wanted me to have this. She goes, I want you to have this. A month later, she hung herself. She never let people know what was going on. But she always would tell me that she would like talking to me because I made her feel good about herself. She hung herself in her garage. Then I had another friend when I worked at the grocery store, and he was a the manager of the meat department. And him and I would go back and forth. I mean, sometimes we would argue because at the time I was working non-foods, meaning that I would put up, the displays, anything that was non-foods, like barbecues and tables, and we put up like the hair dyes and everything that was non-foods. Well, anyway, our department was very close to the meat department, so we were always, in conjunction with the meat guys. And so anyway, Chuck and I would go back and forth all the time. I mean, it was a love-hate relationship, if you will. But there was always a friendship. But I mean, we worked together for 14 years. And so anyway, I was at my other store. I had been transferred, and I was working down in Aliso Miguel. And I looked on Facebook one day, and I saw that people were giving their condolences to his wife, Shona, which I'm a friend with as well. And I thought, oh my God. He came home from work, played with his dog that he loved tremendously. It was a golden retriever. Went upstairs and shot himself. And I thought, oh my God, what is going on? What is going on? I mean, she had no clue what he was going to do. No clue whatsoever. And that just made me more determined to make sure that people knew, at least for me, I can only do what I can do. You know what I mean? I can only do what I can do. And so I make sure that people know that they are worth something. And there is only one them. And I think too, because it affects me, is I was bullied terribly in school, in elementary school, and seventh grade, unmercifully. And then I did a three. I mean, I spun, and then it was like I wouldn't tolerate anything that anyone said, because I thought, you know what, either you're going to lay down and die and let people run all over you, or you're going to stand up for yourself. And thank God I chose to do the latter. But not all people can do that. And people, some are just so browbeaten and put down and hurt and made to feel, you know, that their life isn't worth anything. And for me, I will never tolerate on my dime to let people feel that they're not worth anything. So that, my dear friends, is the reason I say what I say. And I will say it until the day I leave YouTube. I will continue to say it because I do mean it. And it's not just something that just rolls off my tongue, just something to say. When I say it, I mean it. So when you hear me say that, and if any of you are ever having, you know, a hard time, or if someone's listening to this that doesn't usually make a comment to me on here, I want you to know that I mean what I'm saying to you, that your life is worth living. It's worth something. And there is something that you will do or affect someone in a positive way that you may never even know. May never even know. And I had a lady that came in, and so I'm on my soapbox, and like I said, anyone that doesn't want to listen, I totally understand, you know, and well, and you may even have to just go to bed because you have to work tomorrow, and I get that. So whoever wants to leave, that's fine. But I had a lady, and I've known many, many people through the years, being a checker and, you know, dealing with a lot of people. She used to come in and, oh my gosh, she was one of them. You thought, oh God, are you really coming in my line? Oh, please, no. I mean, I'm just being upfront and honest. And then I started watching her, and I thought, you know what? Something's going on with her. I know it. There's something behind that bitterness. So she kept coming through my line, and I kept thinking, what is it? You know, in the beginning I thought, why, woman? Why don't you go in another line? I mean, you'd be happier going in another line, because every time you come in my line, you're just really negative. Well, as time went on, I realized that her bitterness, she had lost her son. Now, this is way before Tanya died. Way before. Years and years before. And he was, I can't remember now, to be honest with you, how he died. But anyway, she came in, and she had this, and it's packed away now. I wish it wasn't. But anyway, it was an angel. It was about that big. And it was a nightlight. And and again, now this is like a year and a half, almost 2 years into her always coming into my line, and me starting to really figure out now what was going on. And she said, I just want you to have this. You've been so nice to me. Well, if I had, you know, thrown back an attitude at her, maybe what would that have done, you know? But I didn't, you know. I mean, yeah, in my mind, I was thinking at times in the beginning, oh no, here she comes again. And that's just the truth. But like I said, as time went on, then I started thinking, you know what, there's something more to this, you know. And I was right. I found out, you know, in the long run, I was right. Her son had died. But I still have that. And it was a Christmas angel. And I still put that Christmas angel out every year. My point being, no one knows what someone's going through. Nobody. And to be kind and to be nice to people, even if you think that, you know, you're just, you know, like if you said, you know, your hair looks really pretty today, or, you know, whatever the case may be, you may think it's just a compliment. You don't know what that might be doing to a person that might be on the verge of just ending it all. You don't know. So I will always be one that will try to, you know, say something positive to people and make them feel good about themselves. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not no Mother Teresa. Believe me, I have a temper. I can have a temper. Believe you me, I can. But, and I don't like to have a temper. But, I mean, I'm human, and I'm not, you know, this, like I said, some saint. By a long shot, I'm not. But, I mean, for the everyday person that's going through stuff, and the way I became friends with Lindy Boone, Debbie Boone's sister, and for you that know Pat Boone, I don't know how many of you would, you know, I mean, you have to be older. But anyway, the reason I became, her and I are friends, and we have been friends now for over 10 years. She came into the store. Well, I had seen her story about her son, Ryan, when he fell through that skylight. And I followed it, and I used to pray for him, you know. And so she came in when I was a lobby supervisor, and she used to get, at the time, it was VHSs. So that tells you how long it was. Because it would stimulate his brain, because he had, you know, significant brain damage. And so she came in the first time I ever saw her, and I said, Lindy, and she turned and she looked at me, and I said, I've been praying for your son. And she came up and she had tears in her eyes, and she hugged me, and she said, you don't know how much that means to me. Now, I could have not said anything to her, okay? I could have said nothing to her and just, you know, got her movie for her, and she could have been on her way. That one thing that I said to her ended up where we're friends now. We've been friends for years. You just don't know when you say something to someone how you could possibly alter something in their life or help them in their life. You just don't know. So that, my dear friends, is why I say what I say. And I don't know if you guys ever wonder, why does she say that every time? Does she have to say that every time? Who knows what people think? I mean, personally, I don't care what they think, but I will always, always end with that. Hi, Tiffany. How are you, honey? So I've been talking, and I haven't even said hi to everybody. So I said hi to Dana and Gloria and Pam, Cynthia, Mary. Okay, who else? Olivia. Anna. Marla. Oh, bless your heart, Marla. I haven't read any of these guys, so I'll go back. I'm so sorry. Oh, it is. It's hell. I mean, there's just no other word to say. It's hell. It's like a hellish nightmare is what it is. Anna. Hey, Anna. And Terry. Oh, you've been sick? I hope you're feeling better. Hi, Peggy. Oh, you're making the faux desserts? Oh, I love Dawn, the pink tree. Oh, she is such a sweetheart. I'm just going through here real quick, guys. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Man, you guys have some cool stuff in Holland. I'll tell you. Hi, Crafty Kitty. Genevieve, how are you? Yeah, you guys are great. I love coming on and talking with you guys. Well, I'm thankful I did, Anna. I'm glad, Genevieve. Hi, Jenny. What time is it there in Holland? And then poor Bella. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, oh, that dog. I wish she was a mean dog. You know what? I wish she would just want to bite me and everything, and then it would be it would be so much easier. But she is the sweetest doggone dog, and her poor eyesight. You know, because of the diabetes, it's getting worse. But I asked the vet because I'll carry her outside because she basically knows the run of the house. You know what I mean? Except when it's dark, and she can't really maneuver that much. But outside, bless her heart, I mean, I have to be right with her because she hit the potted plant, and oh God, it just kills me. But I asked the vet, I go, I'm not going to put her down for that. And she goes, oh no. She said, dogs can live, being blind. She goes, dogs don't have real good eyesight anyway. And she said, but they, like I say, they know the layout of the home, and that's definitely, personally, I'm praying that when it's her time, God take her. I don't want to have to go through having to put her down. I really don't want to go through that. I mean, I will if, I can tell she's hurting or something, but I mean, she still eats, and God love her, she still finds that one toy that she loves. It's this blue elephant from Dr. Seuss, and she loves that elephant. That's the only thing she does love. Polly has all kinds of toys she plays with, but Bella only has that one. And she still plays with that, and she still eats, so, I know that she's not ready. I know she's not. But, that's neat. Aren't you glad you came on my live tonight to hear all this? I never like to be a downer, but I do want to be honest with you guys, and I do want you to know what I'm all about and my way of thinking. But, on the same token, I don't want to bring you down and for you to think, well, this is a way to end my Sunday. Listen to her snivel. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. I don't like being a downer to people. I don't. Oh, how cool, Dana. Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to listen to your heart a lot of times. And if you just listen to your heart will tell you many times what you need to do. Instead of thinking just logically, but think with your heart. And like I say, your heart will tell you maybe what a person needs to hear, you know? When I worked at the school, we used to have kids bust in from Compton, and some of them had, flunked 2 or 3 times. So the sixth graders, some of them should have been in 8th and 9th grade, but they had been held back and held back and held back. And some of them had pretty rough lives. And I remember the teachers, as they got to know me, they used to have me be the one that I would go in and a lot of times talk to some of these kids. And because I worked in the RSP and the SDC class, and I remember there were 2 brothers, and they were identical twins. And at first they came in, and I mean, they were just really, kind of tough and rough and, throwing it out there. And I remember I sat down between them at the lunch table, because I was I worked the lunch duty. I'd go into the cafeteria, and we had a huge school, and we had 2 different lunches, and in each lunch there were, 300 in one lunch, 400 in the other. Huge. There were 4 noon duty that would go in there, and then afterwards we'd go outside. And so I went in one day, and I sat between them, and I looked at them, and they were, I could tell that they, in the beginning, I think they were going to try to be trouble. And I thought, you know what, I got to nip this one in the bud, and I've got to try to get in and get to know them so they can trust me. But I had to do it in such a way, because where I went to school, it was a rough school. And I mean, a lot of my friends were in the projects when I was a kid. I didn't live in the projects, but a lot of my friends lived in the projects, and I hung out there. And so I knew what it was like to be bullied. I knew what it was like to say, no more. I knew it all. And so now I'm a grown person going into a school where I'm seeing this, and I kind of knew where they were coming from. And so I sat down and I said, okay, I said, the first thing is, if you don't respect me, fake it, because I won't tolerate anything but that. By the end of them leaving that school, and I still have it, one of them bought me a, and I'm making a long story short, but they bought me a white seal, the most adorable little stuffed animal seal. And all the kids called me Red because of my hair. And I let them call me that. I didn't care. It didn't have to be Mrs. or Miss or whatever. And they would call me Red. So the last day of school, when they were going to be graduating finally and going into, and our school at the time, it was where 7th grade went into high school. So in other words, it was 7th through 12th. And they came up to me, both of them. They said, "Hey, Red, we're really going to miss you." And I had, and it was very touching. And I mean, I couldn't help it, shed a few tears. And you get to know these kids, and you see what they've gone through, and you get to know them, and to really what they're all about. And your heart goes out to them, because a lot of them, they just want to be acknowledged. They want to be made to feel that, you know what, you're okay, you belong. Yeah. I mean, I've seen so much. I've done so much. I've lived a life that, when I was a kid, I mean, I had a lot of friends that were no longer even here. And I'm talking when they were young. They were no longer there. So I know what it's like. I mean, I know the ins and outs. I wasn't given a golden spoon in my mouth by a long shot. And yeah, but as an adult, you know, you almost now, as weird as it sounds, I almost thank God that I did go through what I went through, because I have the compassion and I have a more understanding of all different people, you know. But yeah, I do thank God for, I mean, at the time I didn't, you know, at the time I'm going, God, why am I going through this, you know? But now I look back and I can see the plan in all of it. I think that you contacting him, Dana, is going to make a huge difference to you and to him. Because when you do something kind for someone, it really, you really benefit out of it just as much as the person that you are giving to. So you guys, did you see, let's get on another note now that I've told you a little bit more about me. And my dear friend Becky. How many people saw my cookie? I'll get it all done. I have it up here. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, here I come. Okay, there you go. Okay, let me move this. Oh, for you guys that didn't see, I don't know how many of you saw the video, but for you that watch some of my home decor, what I mean is the home collaborations, I like showing pictures other than just in a frame. And if you notice, like in my Valentine, I had pictures like in just containers, and that one box that was on my coffee table, because sometimes I don't necessarily want to put pictures in a frame. And this is another way of displaying pictures along with your decor that you make. Night, Maria. Hi, Heaven's Gate, Cherry Farm. The carrot tree, I think it was Joanne's. I think Joanne's, you know what, I started thinking after I did my DIY on that I put up today. I think it was Michael's, but it might have been Joanne's, because it was a long, long time. And when I say long, I mean years and years and years. But you could do this. You know the big carrots that they have now, like at Hobby Lobby and different places? What you could do is you could just go in and put a thin dowel and then wrap wire around here wrapped wire, and then wrap it with floral tape and just bring branches out. Or you could use like what I did Aubrey's money tree with. Oh, you did watch it, Anna? Okay, maybe it was Joanne's then, Pam. Yeah. But, and then you can just make your cookies. And like I said, if you don't want to do faux cookies, you can do real cookies. Why not do real cookies and just put them up? And then everyone can have them at Easter, you know, for a treat. So you could do that as well. And then I just added one of those chocolate ones that I made out of that Dollar Tree egg. And then just, you know, put the speckle on, decorating it like you would get at See's Candy. But, I mean, how cute is that? And you're not, I mean, what? It's going to cost you your flour and salt and spackle to make these. And I made these last year, and there are no bugs, because I've had people email me and text me about, you know, do you get bugs in these? Now, I have only had these for a year, so I don't know what might happen, you know, a few years from now. But all I can tell you is there's no sign of bugs whatsoever so far. And they make a really cute. Night, Pam. Have a good night, hon. A cute decoration, don't you think? So yeah, that's the video that I put up today. And like I say, I've got more that I've got to get going on tomorrow. Got some of my stuff poured. I don't know if you saw this, Gloria. I don't know if you were here at the time, but this is the bunny I poured today with my plaster of Paris in that chocolate mold that I got from the confectionery house. So I'll be working on those. I'm letting him sit. Usually in the summer, if I do this, these would be dried by now, but since it's been cold, it'll take a little bit longer. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll take them out of their molds, and then I'll do the rest of the DIY on video so you can see it. What, Genevieve? You said, how about plaster and spackle? This is plaster Paris. The bunny is. Are you talking about the cookies? Oh, are you saying what about plaster Paris for the cookies and spackle? Okay. Well, see, I made these out of the salt dough with the flour and salt. And these were done with cookie cutters, just like you would a real cookie. With plaster of Paris, you'd have to have something to pour the plaster of Paris in. Now, if you do have little molds like this, sure, you could do that. You could pour plaster of Paris. Now, it's going to be a lot heavier, but you could do that. And then you could just put the plaster of Paris on the... I'm sorry, you could put the spackle on the plaster of Paris. So yeah, you could do that. But they would be heavy. Like this one itself, I mean, I'm not joking. This thing is heavy. I mean, keep in mind, this took 4 cups of plaster of Paris. Just this half. And there's another half to him that we're going to be gluing together. So 4 cups of plaster of Paris and 2 cups of water for just this. This is at least 5 pounds right here. Solid. Not, and of course, now this is a big mold. The other ones that I'm going to show you on the video are smaller, much smaller than this. But they will be heavy, and they would bring the branches down more. But, I mean, it's totally up to you. You sure could do it. Well, these hold up because this is pretty heavy wire, you know. I mean, and they have it wrapped quite a bit. And these are so light. I mean, there's nothing to these. I love the little chick. I think that little chick is so cute. And like I said in my video, if I was thinking, well, you could do what you did to the front, you could do to the back. So you wouldn't have to worry if this thing turned around or whatever, because, you know, spackle would be on both sides. But I kind of like the look of the cookie look, you know, with the salt dough, because to me this looks like a sugar cookie. And that's just personal preference. That's all that is. So if you wanted, you know, of course you have to wait till this side dries, and then you could turn it over and then spackle the other side. But yeah, I mean, and I like the way the carrots turned out too. I thought those turned out really cute. And these are cookie cutters that I've had for years and years, and I don't make cookies per se, real cookies that you eat and decorate them all up, because my kids just don't, well, they're not home anymore. I mean, you know, what's the sense? But even if to make them, I don't know that they would eat them, and I wouldn't want to go to the hassle of making these and not get eaten. I'd rather do faux ones where you can bring them out every year and decorate with them. And then I love this butterfly. Look at this. I love it. So that is one of them. And then, like I say, I've got some other really cute things that I'm going to be putting up, doing a couple more tomorrow. So I can't wait to show you that. Okay, wait, I gotta, okay, Genevieve. I ordered that mold. Which mold, honey? This one? You ordered this particular one? Okay, so you ordered that mold, was wondering if you could make paper mache from it. So you're asking if you could put paper mache in this mold instead of plaster of Paris? I don't know. I don't see why not. Well, I don't know about that big of a bunny. Maybe, I mean, go ahead and try it. I think I think you would probably have to put something in the mold before you put the paper mache, because if you didn't, I think the paper mache would adhere to the plastic, and it would break as you were trying to get it out. Something this big. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done it. I mean, give it a try, but I don't know. Now, there is a couple things that I'm going to be showing. Did you do some in another holiday theme also? Yes. For Christmas, what did I do for Christmas? Oh, you guys, what did I do? I'd have to look back at my videos. My mind went blank. Oh, I don't remember. What did I do? Can't remember. I'll have to look back. I'm sorry. I'll have to look back. My mind's gone blank. I'm afraid that the paper mache, because that's made with glue, I think it would stick to your mold, and it would ruin the mold. Now, I do have a couple that I'm going to be doing, and I'm doing it with air dry clay, the Crayola air dry clay, but it's not this big of a mold. It's a smaller mold. This big of a mold, I just don't know. I don't know if it would work or not, and I would hate for you to ruin the mold if you couldn't get the paper mache out of it. Hi, Mrs. Chris World. But if you don't mind trying it, I mean, go ahead. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. You could put a, on these ornaments, you could put a satin finish on these. Acrylic satin finish, and you can get that anywhere, and it would be where you get your acrylic paints. So yeah, you could. I didn't, but sure you could. Yeah. You're asking me now. It's bugging me about the other holiday stuff. I know I've done other stuff, and I just can't. For Halloween, I did candy apples. Gosh, why is my mind going completely blank, you guys? That is bizarre. I'm sorry, Genevieve. I'll have to get back to you because, honest to God, my mind has just gone boop, and I can't think what I did. Yeah, air dry clay. Just the regular Crayola in the kids section at Michael's. Polly, what are you doing? No, don't do that. Air dry clay. And like I said, I'm doing a video on air dry clay in a couple of these molds. Like I say, not this big of a mold. If you used a smaller mold, but not, again, not with the paper mache, because paper mache is made of paper and glue or paper and starch. And what would happen is you would put it into that mold and it would just stick to the mold. But clay, air dry clay, you could use air dry clay for smaller molds. Gloria. Yeah, I don't know. I guess cockroaches like glue, so you got to be careful, huh? Heaven Gates Cherry Farm. I'm going to have to check out your channel. Are you new to my channel? And is that what you want me to call you if you're still here? What gauge? Maybe, well, now that you asked me, because this has been wrapped quite a bit with some floral tape. Maybe 26. Something that could, I mean, when you go in to look at floral wire, if you go to Hobby Lobby or wherever, just look at it, and when you get it, because you don't want a real flimsy, I think, you know, you wouldn't want like an 18 gauge or a 20 gauge, because those are so flimsy, nothing would hold up. But I always get mixed up with the gauges. I think okay, wait, I take that back. I think the gauge, when it goes lower, it gets thicker, if I remember right, because I remember I did, hold on, Polly, not yet. Hold on, guys, I've got to show you something. When I made this for my daughter's bridal shower, not her bridal shower, I'm sorry, her baby shower for my granddaughter, it was a Cinderella theme, and I made this whole thing, and all of it, you know, these were the pumpkins, but this was 14 gauge, okay? I made these wheels, if you will, if you will. And it was 14. So I think the lower the gauge, the thicker the wire. Well, now you wouldn't want this thick because this thing was really hard to, you know, mold. Not real hard, but I mean, it wasn't easy. So you'd want something that was easy enough to work with. And I know it wouldn't be 14 gauge. But yeah, this is so dusty. But look, how cute. That baby shower was so pretty. And then I took this wire. Now this is like, this wire, when I made these curly cues, this, I think this was like a 20, gosh, I can't remember, 24 gauge maybe. But I wanted them, you know, where the curly cues would stand up. And then the flowers were just, these flowers and the little picks were in the wedding section of Hobby Lobby. And then here's our good old, you know what, candle holder from Dollar Tree. And then I had greenery. I had all kinds of greenery and baby's breath underneath this, all coming out. It was beautiful. Very, very pretty. But yeah, so that made me think of the gauge wire. Okay, bye, Pam. I think a hanger would be too hard to mess with, Gloria. It would be too hard. Thanks, Jenny. Hi, Food Forest. How are you? Okay, so lower is thicker. Okay, so then maybe, what about an 18 gauge? Maybe 18 gauge. But like I say, Cynthia, just go in and, you know, think about like wrapping these and then having them hold up to hold on to this. You know what I mean? I gotta move this so you can see. But you'll know, you'll kind of get the feel of it, and you'll know, do I think this could hold a cookie? You know what I mean? You know what? I could kick myself in the butt. I did not film one thing on that baby shower. I do have a video of her baby shower, and it shows everything I made in, you know, it was like a montage with music, and you can go back and look at it. But I did not videotape one doggone thing that I made, and I made a lot of stuff. I made this, and these were all on the tables, and if you go to that video, you'll see it. It was gorgeous. It really was. And I had pink, little baby pink roses, and this sat on some Oasis, and then I had baby's breath and pink, tiny pink baby roses, and some greenery, and that was the centerpiece with a pillow I made of satin, and then I made, those two little, mice from Cinderella. I cut those out of my Cricut, and then I made her, and these are only a couple things I made her. I made her all kinds of stuff to decorate with the backyard, because it was in my backyard that I had it. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Hold on. I don't think you're going to be able to see it at all, actually. I'd have to bring it down. But see the little headpiece? And this is on a dress form, and I have lights on it. Hold on. See the lights underneath? But, and then here's the dress form. But this is that ribbon that you get from Hobby Lobby, the wide. And then I took tulle and I brought it through all of this to make it really puffy. And then I put the little roses. I'll have to show you another time where you can see it better. But then I took the birds and put them up like they were making the little headpiece. So that was out there. You guys, if you, like I say, if you go on to, and you'll see it because it says my daughter's baby shower for a princess, I think it was. You'll be able to see it. Oh, thanks, Genevieve. Yeah, it was a beautiful shower. You really, just for the heck of it, you should. I'm going to go off for a minute and go on here and show you so you'll know where to look. I've done so many videos now, you guys. I'm going to get down there so I can show you. Am I buffering? I'm buffering, I can tell, because my you guys can't see me now, right? Can you still hear me? Yeah, it's not your screen. Hold on. I'm going to go off and go back on. I'm going to end this.